So when you were talking about 12 years old, you were transitioning, and was there any pain of that sort, like, because you were still in Singapore at that time, and have you already started, the beauty contest, the beauty pageants and stuff? Or
yeah. My first was Little Miss Singapore when I was like 10. I surprised you, right? With that. That was my first. Singapore. So that was my first. I used to be a really, really shy kid. So I used to even hide behind my mom's skirt. Underneath my mom's skirt when I was really tiny. Okay. Just because like people say hi to me and stuff. And then I remember my mom, she was like, no, she's going to go for classes. She's going to go for drama class, all kinds of classes to have this confidence in public speaking. So funny. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. And slowly my mom just kept exposing me, and my dad too. But when I was 10, 11, I did these pageants. At first, it was just really totally out of my comfort zone. But I was just doing what my mom told me to, right? There was just no purpose there. It was just like, okay, I'll just try it for fun. But then in Singapore context, you can definitely see from a young age, you're seen as like a star because you're mixed race, because you're the outlier, right? You're different. You look different.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't look like everybody else. So in a way, there's a mix of favoritism, but also, people who are like, no, we need somebody who looks more Singaporean, right?
Yeah.
Two schools of thoughts here. Yeah. And that's where I think it depends on who the judge is for you to win. The competition element, I think, is if people don't take it right, if they don't have the right environment or parenting around it, it will really mess up the kid, I would say. You've seen those like monster kids, right? On the pageant shows and stuff. Like that sort of parenting and unregulated environment, it's not healthy, especially when you're thrown into the spotlight at such a young age. I mean, look at the, the Disney stars, right? They're like, why these super young famous kids and child stars all turn out like this? I think there is an element of that with like amazing fame at such a young age. So I think what we're seeing now, I think is important that we have the right parents involved within that space. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like the values. Why are you doing this? Yeah. And for me, like my mom and my dad definitely like kept me to my core.
But being in that environment where you were facing, basically there was a lot of approval, a lot of validation, but also a lot of rejection also, because it's up to a vote, right?
Yeah.
So how did it change you?
It's interesting because I've only really thought about this now. Yeah. You have the approval, like people around you supporting you. Oh, you're so beautiful. You're so amazing. Let's get on stage. You've got this great talent. I was singing and I dance as well. But yeah, mainly singing. I mean, now I'm still singing, right? But more rock and roll songs. But at that age, you're like, wow, I'm being validated. This is great. This feels nice. And then at the end of the competition, you did not get that placing. Suddenly you're crushed overnight and you're just crying. Like, why didn't I get it? Was I not good enough? Was I not this? Was I not that? That girl has more than me. This girl had better shoes.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
But like that, it's interesting to hear that because nobody puts that into your head because you're going through that and your mind naturally in the survival way tries to find a reason to justify that loss. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whereas I think the healthy way to go about it is then and I really thank my parents and my family, my sisters, in fact, for this, where they go like, no, it's not because of that. It's because the judge at that moment was looking for something else, right? So it's a more positive way. They're just looking for something else for maybe their campaign. Yeah. So it's more like meeting the needs of the business at the moment. So they're actually speaking to me like an adult. And so I clicked it. I took away the insecurities and I sort of just chucked it out and sort of say, okay, you know what? I still have my positive validation. I'm still beautiful. I'm still great. I still have a great voice. But then, yeah, maybe it's just not the right fit at that time. And so that built the resilience in me. I'm like, okay, either way, I enjoyed it. I had fun, right? My mom like, did you have fun? Yes, I did. I'll just go for the next one. and just keep going because I enjoy it. And then that's the healthy way. It's not the usual way, I would say. And maybe some people might argue it's getting worse nowadays because now you ask